They say your body is more than flesh and bone, it's a living transmitter, sending out frequencies that bend reality itself. Neuroscience at Stanford and the HeartMath Institute proves that when your heartbeat and brainwaves sync, you enter coherence, a state where your energy field becomes a powerful mirror. But here's a question that hits deep. Have you ever felt you're doing everything right, visualizing, scripting, affirming, yet nothing changes? The block isn't your lack of discipline. It's the vibration you unconsciously broadcast. Studies from UCLA show your nervous system patterns override your will. If you miss this, you'll keep running in the same loop for years. In the next 30 minutes, I'll show you how to retune that signal, because once you understand force versus frequency, you'll never manifest the same way again. Have you noticed how we've been taught to hustle, push, and force our way into the life we want, yet so few ever feel truly free? It's like standing in a river, trying to stop its flow with our bare hands, only to exhaust ourselves as the current keeps rushing by. This is the hidden trap of force versus frequency. Most classic self-help methods are built on force. They tell you to meditate to silence your mind. Yet inside, you're secretly worried about tomorrow. You repeat affirmations, but your gut twists every time the bills come in. You journal, visualize, and script, but deep down, your nervous system stays wired for survival, not safety. Studies from Stanford and HeartMath show that our brains crave dopamine hits from constant chasing. We're addicted to the illusion of progress, the endless busyness that keeps us feeling safe from the terrifying emptiness beneath. Neuroscientists at UCLA discovered that when you try to force a new reality while your heart and brain remain out of sync, your body broadcasts a fragmented, contradictory signal. So no matter how perfectly you plan, you're living on static. Just think, the more you force, the tighter the knot becomes. Your field, the energy around you, picks up on fear, scarcity, or unworthiness, and mirrors it right back. That's why some people meditate for hours but can't relax. Or they hustle for success yet feel emptier than ever. Can you relate? Where in your life are you still forcing? What are you chasing so hard that you forget how to receive? If force only creates resistance, what truly shifts reality? This is where the real conversation begins. Imagine your body as a living tuning fork. When you learn to harmonize your heartbeat and brainwaves into coherence, a state proven by HeartMath to transform your electromagnetic field, you stop forcing and start attracting. You become the clear signal that reality responds to. It's no longer about doing more but being more aligned. So ask yourself, what would it feel like to let go of force and trust your frequency? If this stirs something in you, share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And stay here, because next we'll uncover frequency interference, the hidden static that keeps you stuck in old loops. Like this video, subscribe, and tap the bell, because once you clear that noise, you'll never see manifestation the same way again. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to do everything right? They hang up vision boards, write endless affirmations, follow every ritual, yet their reality barely shifts. This is the hidden trap called frequency interference. Imagine your mind like a radio station. Your desires are the song you want to play, but if there's static noise in the signal, the music comes through distorted. It doesn't matter how beautiful the song is if the frequency is filled with interference. In daily life, this looks like saying, "I am abundant," while secretly panicking about debt, or meditating to feel calm while your chest tightens with fear of the unknown. It's the subtle static of doubt, fear, and old emotional residue that clouds the clean signal you need for manifestation. Neuroscience studies at Stanford and HeartMath show that your body is a living transmitter. Your heart and brain produce measurable electromagnetic waves that broadcast your emotional state. When that field is coherent, reality responds in kind. But when interference is present, the message becomes mixed, and life mirrors that confusion back to you. Common symptoms? You feel exhausted, even when resting. You lie awake, replaying worst-case scenarios. You cling to outcomes so tightly that they slip further away. Have you felt this? Take a moment to notice. Where in your life does your energy feel noisy? Where does your nervous system hold on so tightly that your frequency becomes scattered? Frequency interference isn't always loud. Sometimes it hides in the silent fear of not being enough. in the restless need to do more just to feel worthy. The truth is, the cleanest vision board means nothing if the vibration beneath it is full of static. So, what really broadcasts your frequency? To understand why your vibration decides everything, you need to look at the powerhouse inside you, your heart and brain. Studies from UCLA and the HeartMath Institute prove that these two organs generate the strongest energy field in your body, and when they're in sync, you enter a state called coherence that can literally bend reality in your favor. In our next part, we'll explore the deep science of the field and coherence and see how you can clear the noise for good. What do you think? Let me know in the comments and take a deep breath, because the next step may change how you see yourself forever. Did you know your heart is not just a pump, but a powerful electrical organ, one that creates an energy field thousands of times stronger than your brain's? This truth might surprise you, but it's the key to understanding why coherence changes everything. Research from the HeartMath Institute and neurocardiology experts shows that your heart generates an electromagnetic field about 5,000 times more powerful than the brain's and can be measured up to 3 feet outside your body with a magnetocardiogram. When your heartbeat is erratic, that field is scattered, but when you reach heart coherence, your heart rate variability, HRV, becomes smooth and rhythmic, sending clear, steady signals to the brain. This isn't just poetic science, it's biology. Stanford and UCLA studies confirm that this coherent state calms the amygdala, the fear center, and allows your frontal cortex to rewire. It's called neuroplasticity. When you repeatedly enter coherence, you carve new neural pathways that favor calm, gratitude, and trust instead of survival stress. It's like turning a dirt trail into a clear, strong road. This subtle rewiring doesn't just change your thoughts, it shifts your entire biology. Coherence reduces cortisol, the stress hormone that drains your immunity, while boosting DHEA, a hormone linked to vitality and repair. HeartMath data shows that people practicing daily coherence techniques see increased immune function, better sleep, and improved emotional resilience. Can you feel how this links to your frequency? Imagine your body as a giant tuning fork. If your heart and brain are vibrating in sync, your entire field broadcasts a pure tone, one that entrains your environment, like a singing bowl calming an entire room. In quantum physics, this field is more than theory. It's measurable energy that interacts with the quantum field, the invisible ocean of possibilities all around us. The observer effect, proven in the double-slit experiment, shows that when you direct a clear signal, your coherent state, you collapse the wave of infinite outcomes into a more probable reality. A fuzzy, anxious signal collapses probabilities in chaotic ways. A clear, coherent signal acts like a laser beam, choosing which timeline to solidify. Think about this. Your breath, your heart rhythm, your brain waves, they're not random. They are tools for you to tune your personal vibration over and over, until it sings a frequency that reality can't help but reflect. What does this mean for you in daily life? It means that a single minute of conscious coherence can be more powerful than hours of forcing. It means you don't need to think positive 24/7. You need to feel aligned at your core. Pause right now. Put a hand over your heart. Feel its steady beat. Imagine each breath smoothing the rhythm, like waves calming after a storm. This is your tuning fork moment, your whole body, your whole field, shifting from static to clarity. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. Ancient traditions around the world, from Taoist breathwork to Vedic meditation, have always known this truth. They just described it through myth and ritual. In our next part, we'll explore how these old wisdoms echo what neuroscience and quantum physics now confirm. Your field is your reality. But before we go there, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Does this idea of coherence resonate with you? Can you feel where your own field might be scattered, or where you're craving that tuning fork harmony? Share it below and stay with me, because next we'll journey into the timeless connection between ancient traditions and the quantum science that now brings them back to life. Have you ever wondered why ancient traditions from opposite corners of the world all whisper the same timeless truth? They knew something about energy long before we had brain scans or heart monitors. In yoga, there's samadhi, a state of oneness where the self dissolves into pure coherence with existence. In Taoism, they call it wu wei, effortless action, where you move in harmony with the flow instead of forcing against it. And in Tibetan tantric meditation, there is samatha, deep absorption, entering stillness not by pushing thoughts away, but by loosening your grip. These ancient wisdoms understood what our modern hustle culture often forgets. The more you try to control every detail of life, the more you create interference in your own field. Think about it, how often do we chase goals with clenched fists, only to feel more disconnected than before? It's a paradox. Our need to force outcomes scrambles the very frequency that could attract them naturally. Neuroscience now validates what these old masters taught through story and ritual. Studies from Kyoto University to the Heart Math Institute reveal that when you drop into coherence, that sweet alignment of heart, brain, and breath, your whole system becomes a magnet for clarity. So maybe coherence isn't just a scientific idea. Maybe it's an ancient remembering. Picture a bamboo grove swaying with the wind. It doesn't resist, yet it stands strong. Or a mountain stream flowing around every obstacle, yet always reaching the sea. The body is no different. When you stop clinging to tension, you become that clear channel. So pause for a moment. Where could you soften your grip? Where could you trade hustle for harmony? What would your day feel like if you trusted your energy more than your to-do list? You don't have to be a monk on a mountaintop to embody this wisdom. It's a living practice, moment by moment, tuning your vibration back to coherence. Does this ancient view resonate with you? Share your thoughts below. I'd love to hear how these traditions speak to your own journey. Stay with me, because next we'll move from theory to action. I'll guide you step by step through a quantum frequency shift practice you can use daily to align your mind, heart, and field, so your reality has no choice but to follow. Have you ever noticed how a single question can slip under your guard and touch something deeper than facts ever could? What would it feel like if... It sounds so gentle, yet it can shift the whole field you live in. Neuroscience shows this simple phrase works because it bypasses the logical, doubting part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, and lights up your insula, the area that senses emotion and bodily states. It invites your nervous system to participate instead of resist. This is why asking, "What would it feel like if?" can feel like a small key opening a big door. And when you practice it during your brain's natural theta, states just after you wake up or right before you fall asleep, you slip past rigid thinking and speak directly to the subconscious patterns that shape your reality without you even noticing. So let's make this practical. Here's a step-by-step quantum frequency shift you can come back to anytime you feel yourself drifting back into force or doubt. Step 1. Create your safe space. You don't need a Himalayan cave or a perfect Zen room. A chair by your window, a blanket wrapped around your shoulders, a candle flickering in a quiet corner. These small signals tell your nervous system, you're safe. It's okay to let go. Step 2. Begin with your breath. Breath is the ancient bridge between mind and body. Try the 4-4-6 method. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6, or box breathing, 4 counts for each. Studies from Stanford's Center for Compassion and Altruism Research show how controlled breathing immediately calms the amygdala and shifts your body toward coherence. Feel how your shoulders drop and your heartbeat softens. Step 3. Place a hand on your heart. It might feel simple, but research from the Heart Math Institute proves this gesture increases coherence between your heart and brain. Feel the warmth of your palm and the steady pulse beneath. This is you, tuning your inner instrument. Step 4. Find one real thing to appreciate. Not what you should be grateful for, but something tiny and true. Maybe the soft morning light on your pillow, the way fresh air feels on your skin, or the warmth of your coffee mug in your hands. When gratitude is real, it changes your chemistry, lowering cortisol and boosting DHEA, the hormone of vitality. Step 5. Now ask your quantum question. What would it feel like if this was already done? Don't overthink. Let the question ripple through your body like a stone dropped into still water. Maybe you sense a tiny warmth in your chest, a subtle loosening in your belly, a wave of calm in your throat. Or maybe you feel nothing, and that's perfectly fine. Come back to your breath. Micro shifts matter more than forced big leaps. If your mind starts to chatter, smile at it. This is just old static clearing itself out. Imagine each exhale sweeping away interference. Visualize waves radiating from your heart, expanding beyond your body, filling the room, the street, the sky like gentle ripples on a quiet lake. You are broadcasting a new frequency now, one your field can recognize and amplify. When should you do this? The best moments are when your brain is naturally soft early morning, before the noise of the world pulls you into force, and at night, when your day closes and your subconscious is ready to be rewired. 1 minute is better than none. 5 minutes is gold. Consistency is the secret. It teaches your system that this is the new normal. Over time, these daily moments stack up, creating neural pathways that default to calm, trust, and alignment instead of survival and doubt. Think of it like brushing your energetic teeth small, daily, non-negotiable. And remember, the goal is not to feel perfect. Some days you'll sense deep alignment. Other days your mind will fight back. Both are okay. It's not about forcing an outcome, but about becoming a clear channel for it. What do you notice when you try this? Where does your body tighten, and where does it soften? How does the question, what would it feel like if this was already done, land for you today? Tell me in the comments. Your reflection might inspire someone else here to trust their own process. And if you found this guide helpful, share this video with a friend or loved one who could use a gentle reminder that force isn't the way frequency is. When we shift together, we become tuning forks for each other's fields. Stay with me, because in the next part, you'll see how this isn't just theory or a pretty ritual. I'm going to share a true story, a case study of someone who took this daily practice and turned it into a real, tangible timeline shift. You'll witness how tiny, consistent coherence moments open doors they never imagined possible. So take a deep breath, stay close, and let's step into what's possible when you choose to broadcast the signal of done. Have you ever wondered what happens when someone shifts from forcing their dreams to simply becoming the signal for them? Let me share Maya's story, a real example of how coherence can change everything. Maya used to spend hours each night visualizing her perfect future, scripting every detail until her hand ached. But instead of feeling aligned, she felt exhausted, burned out, and secretly frustrated. She told me once, "I felt like I was doing all the right rituals, but my heart was tired. I was chasing my dreams so hard, they ran from me." Then came her turning point. She discovered the science of coherence. She started small, hand on heart, simple breathwork, and asking herself, what would it feel like if this was already done? She stopped trying to force the universe and focused on feeling safe and open in her own body first. Within weeks, subtle shifts began. She said opportunities that once felt impossible just knocked on her door. Collaborations, invitations, even new friendships that mirrored her new frequency. Her old anxiety of needing to prove herself melted away. In her words, "I don't feel like I need to prove anything anymore. I am." And that's the secret. Coherence creates clarity, and clarity attracts alignment without burnout. Maya's story is living proof that your field responds to your inner state, not your outer effort. So pause for a moment. Where are you still forcing what could simply flow? Can you feel where you're pushing, but not receiving? What would happen if you chose coherence over constant hustle? Tell me below, does Maya's journey remind you of your own? Stay close, because next we'll explore how to spot the signs of coherence and synchronicity, the small, magical confirmations that your field is tuning to a new timeline. Have you ever felt a quiet shift inside you before anything changed on the outside? It's like noticing the wind change direction before the clouds even move. This is how coherence works, subtle, yet unmistakable once you learn its signs. One of the first clues is a gentle drop in your reactivity. Things that once triggered you into overthinking or defending yourself start to feel less urgent. You breathe more deeply, without trying. Your shoulders soften more often throughout the day. It's as if your body knows how to return to safety, all on its own. Relationships begin to recalibrate too. People around you may sense your new frequency, and old conflicts might dissolve without dramatic conversations. This is coherence at work. Your inner field stabilizes, and your outer world echoes that stability. And then comes the dance of synchronicity. Have you ever thought of someone, and they suddenly call you? Or felt a pull to go somewhere, only to meet the right person at the right time. This isn't just coincidence, it's quantum entanglement in action. Stanford's quantum physics research shows that our thoughts and feelings act like signals, weaving invisible threads that link us with possibilities already waiting in the field. When you're coherent, your signal is clear, so these threads tighten, pulling people and opportunities closer in ways that feel almost magical. What I love most about synchronicity is how it reminds us. You don't attract like a magnet pulling in metal, you resonate, like two tuning forks humming the same note across a room. You become a clear tone in the quantum symphony, and life rearranges to meet you there. So pause and feel. Are you seeing these little signs? Less inner noise, more ease, surprising moments of alignment. This is how you know your shift is real, even if the big results are still unfolding. What's your most memorable synchronicity? Has something small but undeniable shown you that your frequency is changing? Share it below. Your story might help someone else trust their own subtle signs too. Stay with me, because next we'll explore the hidden traps that often pull us back out of coherence and the gentle ways you can move through them without losing your signal. Have you ever wondered why, even when you understand coherence, you still slip back into the old struggle? It's like tending a calm garden and then watching weeds push through the cracks overnight. These hidden traps are not your fault. They're patterns your nervous system clings to for safety. One common trap is forcing fake feelings. You sit down to align your frequency but end up pretending to feel gratitude or calm just to get it done. Underneath, your body knows it's not real, and that static leaks into your signal. Another trap is hypervigilance. You watch for signs obsessively, refreshing your phone, reading every number as a message. Instead of letting synchronicity surprise you, you become addicted to proof. There's also the subtle manipulation trap, using coherence practice as a tool to bend reality too quickly. You push your field like a magic trick to make outcomes appear faster than they're ready. But this rush adds force back into the very process you're trying to soften. Then there's the performance loop, maybe the trickiest of all. You meditate or breathe not to feel good, but to feel good enough to deserve what you want. Deep down, you're still seeking permission or validation, turning coherence into another task to master. Studies at Stanford and UCLA show that when your nervous system senses performance pressure, cortisol spikes and your body reverts to survival mode. So how do you catch these weeds before they take over? One powerful reset is the micro-anchor. Pause and whisper to yourself, coherence is a choice. This gentle reminder breaks the loop of forcing. Sometimes that's all you need, a breath between the old reflex and the new choice. Another simple ritual is the 3-breath reset. Whenever you feel yourself pushing too hard, stop. Inhale slowly, hold, exhale even slower. 3 conscious breaths reconnect you to your field. No force, just presence. And if the mind won't settle, grab your journal and ask, where am I forcing today? Let your pen show you the tiny corners where fear still masquerades as effort. Remember, the goal is not perfect calm but honest coherence. Even your tension can become part of the flow when you see it, breathe it, and soften around it. This is how you stay in tune, day after day, not by being flawless, but by coming home to your own frequency, again and again. What about you? Which trap do you find yourself in most often? Pretending, controlling, chasing proof, or performing to feel worthy? Tell me in the comments. You might be surprised how many people feel the same. And stay with me, because next we'll open the circle wider. I'll share how this path is not meant to be walked alone, and why your coherence might just be the spark for a ripple of change far beyond you. Have you ever imagined what it would feel like to walk into a room 6 months from now, and without saying a word, your very presence shifts the air around you? That's coherence made visible. It's not about forcing people to see you. It's about becoming the signal that others feel before they even know why. This is the vision I hold for us, a community that doesn't just talk about frequency, but becomes it, moment by moment. If any part of this journey resonates, drop a simple line in the comments. I am shifting. Let that be your quiet declaration that you're choosing coherence over chaos, resonance over force. And remember, you're not practicing alone. Every breath you take, every micro shift you make, becomes a tuning fork for someone else. HeartMath research proves that collective coherence amplifies the field far beyond what any single person could do. Imagine that your inner work rippling out like a wave, calming storms in places you'll never see. This is how we stop chasing frequency and start living it. This is the real revolution. Ordinary people like you and me, choosing to broadcast a steadier signal, not someday, but now. So pause. What does your next ripple look like? What does your room, your family, your work feel like when you stand anchored in this field? Stay here, because in the final mini bonus practice and closing, we'll seal this intention with one last simple breath, a reminder that the shift you seek is already alive in you. Have you ever thought about how the quiet moments just before you drift into sleep can shape the entire field you wake up to? Tonight, I invite you to try a simple coherence reset, a tiny ritual that speaks louder than hours of forcing. Lie down, place one hand on your heart, and let your breath find a gentle rhythm. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. As you breathe, ask softly, what would it feel like if I'm already held by life? Let that question settle into your heartbeat. Neuroscience from the HeartMath Institute shows that even 1 minute of heart-focused breathing before bed can lower stress hormones and rewire your nervous system for calm. If your mind drifts, don't fight it. Just come back. That's the secret. Every time you return, your frequency grows stronger. Picture your heart's field expanding like ripples in a lake, tuning your dreams while you rest. This is your gentle reminder. You don't chase coherence. You become it breath by breath, night by night. What do you feel when you try this? Tell me in the comments. Your story could help someone else come back to themselves too. And if this practice nourished you, remember to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so each time you need this calm, you'll find it waiting for you, right here.